between the two hands. Begins to pull the hands together. Notice the pace of my voice is changing. Closer. Closer. Movement might not be smooth. Be very gesticulated. When your hands touch, close your eyes. Okay. You do it. Now, before you do it, I want to point out, I didn't tell you to bow your head. That was a nonverbal signal, and I want to see who follows that signal. I want to see who's following both verbal and nonverbal signals. So go ahead and do that. What? You kind of let your shoulders drop down rather, otherwise you might get stiff neck, right? So let them come together. That's right. Feel the power of magnets pulling together closer and closer and closer. Closer and closer. And when they touch, just lower your hands. That's right. No rush. All the time in the world. All the time. Very, very good. How many people here say no? How many people have experienced hypnosis before? Okay. I like working with people who have experienced hypnosis before. So you didn't. Have you experienced hypnosis before? I love working with people who have experienced hypnosis before. No matter what, you say you feel it. Okay, so the next one is I'm going to pull up a chair here. I really don't need a chair to do this, but I'm going to just model it. I'm going to do levitating hands. And I'm going to ask for you to put your feet right on the floor, and rather than sitting to back, touching the back of, and that, I have to admit that there's any chair more uncomfortably designed than these, I don't know what they are. Thought putting a button right where your tailbone is supposed to be. So I would sit right on the edge of your feet so that when you do this, your back is straight. If you ever want to work on your good posture, just don't use the back of your chair, sit right on the edge. I get in trouble in restaurants because this is how I sit in chairs. And a little space between your legs. I'd like for you to place your hands over your knees, but I'd like for you to have a space of about the thickness of a magazine between your knees. Your hands are not touching your knees. And make sure your shoulders are relaxed. And as you sit there, in this special way with your hands not touching your knees, you may begin to notice a difference between the left and the right hand. It may be a difference in temperature. One hand may begin to feel lighter than the other. I don't know if it'll be your left hand or your right hand. Or it might even be both hands. And in certain circumstances, I've seen people, both hands stick to the knees and they were unable to move their hands. But continue to notice the difference between the hands. One or the other, but both hands moving further higher. Higher, bending at the elbows, letting the hands float naturally, automatically, spontaneously, higher and higher, more and more relaxed. I look across the group. See a number of extremely talented people. As the hands lift, they may not move smoothly. It's because your unconscious mind is taking control. It's not used to moving the body independent of the conscious mind. That's right. At this point, we can just allow the hands roll back to your knees. As the hands go down, just relax and sink. What was that like?
Interesting.
Interesting? Whenever you have the opportunity to use the word like, use it. I would like you all to sit in your seats on the edge of your chair. What did I just say? I like you all. Teachers do this all the time, every day. I like you all to get ready for lunch. I like you all to open up to page 12 in your math book. So I think the parents, the kid comes up, oh, you like your teacher? Yeah. Your teacher like you? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Because we're told hundreds of times a day, hey, I like you all. So anytime you can fit that and don't say, consciously, I mean, you're right, it'll be, I would like you all. I'd leave off the D. Just, I like you. I like you to do this. I like you to do this. And you can separate it. It becomes a suggestion. Okay. The power of the human mind is amazing. We all know what playing cards are, right? We all know that spade is the queen of spades. We have hearts. People recognize what hearts are like. Diamonds. Those shapes on are called pips. This has two pips, two diamonds. And who can tell me what that is? Well, okay, please say puppy paws. We're adults here. All right. Let's see if we can do this first without using the cards. It might be that we have to resort to the cards, but let's try it without. I would like for you to think of a card. Don't make it easy for me. Don't pick the Queen of Hearts. Don't pick the Ace of Spades. Don't pick the King of Clubs. Don't pick the Seven of Diamonds. Those are easy ones. Don't you pick something very obscure, something I would never be able to guess, right? Okay. So are you good making pictures in your mind? Okay. So I'd like for you to project a card in front of you, a big card like this, right? And I would like for you to look at that card. Don't look at me, look at the card. Okay. And I'd like for you to count those pips one at a time. Like if you say it's a 3 or something, you say, if you had just a 1, 2, and send that to me, okay? And I'll say, begin now and tell me when you're done. Okay. Now, if it's what are the odds of me guessing the card right the first time? Anybody good at math?
1 in 52.
1 in 52. What about if I had 2 of them in a row and I got right?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that would be 52 times 51, which happens, 2,652. So we might try that later. All right. So, okay, now I want you to think the card, and if it's a black card, you really don't have to think of anything because black is emptiness, right? But if it's a red card, I would like for you to think of something that you own that happens to be that same shade of red. Okay, right? Okay. I'm not really picking this up very well. I might be missing it. Is it the 8 of clubs? I'm going to pause, let that settle in for a minute.
It's amazing. We're awestruck.
Okay, so if I was doing this demonstration, would cut out this next section. Because I bingo, I got scored, right? Yeah. If I got it wrong, I would blame her. I would say, oh, I'm sorry. You weren't particularly good at projecting, but that's okay, it's okay. I'll give you a chance. And I'll teach you how to do this too. So they're like, I'll give you a chance. And so we'll use a real deck of cards this time. So I'm going to Could you shuffle the cards for me, just so, you can please stand up and could you face this way? And I made a mistake there. You should never turn your back on your audience. No matter what you do, don't do this. That's good. That's good. You know, they say if you shuffle them 7 times, there's no way they're completely random. You don't have to do it 7 times. So that's fair, everybody say, this is, cards are completely shuffled? Okay, so I'm gonna run my thumb down edge of the deck. When you feel like it, say stop. Take the card. Don't let me see it. Show everybody in the audience. So I'm gonna start with King. First of all, I know it's a black card or a red card. I get that much right. And I'm gonna start at King all the way, and I'm gonna start King and go all the way down to face. When I say the name of your card, in your mind, I want you to say stop. If you say it out loud, that makes it very easy for me. I want you to say it very, very quietly inside your mind. So, King, Queen, Jack, Ten, 9, 8, 7, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 10, 8, 8 clubs again. No? What is
Oh, it is. I thought.
See, the people forget. People forget. Well, that's okay, you're forgetting. Please have a seat. All right. So from here, I would say, and I'm going to click on you, but since you're already up here, why don't you go back up? So here I would say, okay, now I would, since you're very good, could you face the audience this way? Yeah. Now, are you left-handed or right-handed? Right-handed. Okay, so we'll just use this, your left hand. I'd like for you to turn your palm up like this, right here, and just don't give me the weight of it, but just let it float up here. I'd like for you to imagine 8 of clubs in the palm of your hand. And as your hand moves toward your face, eyes are beginning to change their focus. And as you become aware of your eyes, you'd like to close your eyes and sleep. Allow your hand to float down only as quickly as you can relax naturally. Deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed. All the way. All the way, keeping your balance, keeping your legs solid beneath you. But still experiencing this floating feeling. It's not the first time you've been in this. This is really natural for you. All the way. All the way. And as you listen to the sound of my voice, I want you to create a space inside your heart and inside your mind. All the good thoughts, all the good memories that you have. All the wonderful places you've been, all the wonderful people you've known, all the good times you've had. Just take a moment now to re-experience those and save them away for a rainy day. It's something no one can ever take away. It's always yours. Always yours. You can return to this anytime you need. All the way down. Drifting. Sinking and floating. Like a leaf on a tree. Leaf in a stream. Nothing you have to say. Nothing you have to do, and nor you have to do except deeper and deeper and deeper. a simple line statement. And in a moment, I'm going to count to 5. And when I do, you're going to reawaken from fresh, relaxed joy all over. As if you just had a 9-hour massage, 45-minute. 1, feeling wonderful. 2, you know you have all the tools you need to be the best person that you possibly be. 3, for your fear, for your doubt, for your anxiety. 4, for yourself, for your family, for your friends. 5 eyes open, wide awake. What's that like?
This is a nice little journey.
Very good.
Yeah.
We're going to do a round of applause. This is where you go like this, you go like this, and what do you get? Yeah. And then perception of what you do. And you say, if anyone is interested, I've got my business cards up here. And thank you very much. And expect a line of people to come up. And you'll spend probably more time with the line of people coming up, passing out cards and talking than you would do the actual demonstration itself. Okay, so questions. First of all, I like to hear what ifs. What if this happens? What if magicians they love what ifs. They have a solution for anything that goes wrong. So what kinds of things could go wrong? What's that?
Wrong card. You picked the wrong card.
Well, I'll talk about how that works. The card part, we'll have a whole section on just cards. You can have like a noisy group of people who really don't want to pay attention. Right? That's possible.
You're a
And so-
negative person in the crowd that's a naysayer.
Naysayers like that. So if you go through the convincers, I'm sure we've all been taught convincers at one time before. Because magnetic hands. And if you feel like that's it, then you say, thank you very much for your attention. I've got my cards up there. Anybody has any questions? And this still will line up. Don't feel bad because you cut off all the good stuff, right? Because you want to do it, you feel it in your heart. And don't feel bad if you don't get that part. Just you have to read the room. You know, as an entertainer, stand-up comics, improv, they all know that they read the room. They know when to stop. And they know. First of all, you'd rather leave them a little hungry than give them too much. You want to go over. So at any point of these things, you can stop. Anything else?
What if they can't be hypnotized? You've done everything you can and
So,
she's resistant, I'd say.
yeah, so that's a good question. So they're standing, so first of all, you built compliance between the whole group. Everyone's sitting where you ask them to. They come up there, and even if they don't go to hypnotize, their eyes are closed. And then all cultures on this planet, when your eyes are closed, you hypnotize as far as. So the rest of the people, and the person will say, oh, I don't feel like I was hypnotized. You say, that's right, because some people experience hypnosis in different ways. You never say no, you always say, that's right. Even in like improv comedy, you go up there, somebody gives you this slip of paper, so you're standing in front of the ducks wearing tuxedos, you never say no. You run with it, no matter what their experience is, you go with it. You say, that's right, and they say, oh, people say, oh, this is a lot like meditation, that's right, it will feel a little bit like meditation, won't it? If you get somebody who doesn't want to come up, you'll pick them out earlier that they don't learn. Body language, and you've done all these things to look for compliance, right? If their arms don't go up, or if they're going, wow, and if somehow you get somebody like that in the group, you say, I think you would enjoy this more sitting back in the chair and watching all this thing. And everyone give them a round of applause. They give them a sense of success. Okay, now the hard part. How did I know what cards you picked?
When you verbally explained about the hips, you mimicked with your fingers and with your body language of that. So she's gradually counting it out in her mind. She's going.
So, yeah, so to begin with, I said, you picked up at some point. So to begin with, I said, don't make it easy for me. Don't pick the queen of hearts. Don't pick the king of clubs. Don't pick the ace of spades, seven of diamonds, and king of clubs. Well, that eliminates whole categories, right? So I'm narrowing down the things. So a lot of, there's a tendency for women to pick queen of hearts. A lot of times they just do. And so you want to eliminate that right away. So basically, when you say eliminate the queen of hearts and the king of clubs, that basically eliminates all the face cards, right? You say ace of spades because that's kind of obvious, and that took eliminate all the other aces, right? So that leaves you 10 through 2 choices, right? And when I said like this, I said I want you to send me one at a time, and then I did a demonstration. And I counted out the pips out loud, and that sets the pace for her to follow. Okay, and then I said, send it to me very clearly. And then I stopped and I started asking math questions. What are the odds? And what I'm trying to do is get people to think on the numbers and to distract them. Anytime, like if I've done name steals from people, I said, as you wake up, the name will be completely gone. That name that you had is gone. Look at me, look at me, look at me. And I'll say, how long did it take you to get, how many blocks away did you have to park to get here? And they start thinking this, and then they go, what's that name again? And they don't know the name. They can't pull it up. Because I asked one guy once I did that, and this is my intention, but so I took his name away and he opened his eyes. And he was saying his name under his breath, and he was like, you can see he was doing that. And I asked him about some math question like that, and he stopped. And then he couldn't remember his name because it breaks the chain. The math part of your brain is different than the language part, although math facts are the language part of the brain, oddly enough. And so I put that in there because I wanted to break that chain, the association. So the next thing is I asked what I'd like you to think of the color of the card. If it's black, if it's red, think of something you own that's red. So if you've done NLP, to access your memory, you have to move your eyes. Right? So I was watching her eyes, and since I was flashing, you didn't have to access her eyes, so her eyes didn't move. And if it had been red, her eyes would have moved. And that's a no fail. I thought and as far as the suit goes, I just guess. 50-50. And if you practice this enough, by the way, anything I tell you here stays inside this room. This is for you to learn, and if you explain it to everybody, you go, and pretty soon, it does something to the relationship that you have with the person. You lower yourself when you do that. Besides, it spoils the trick. And I've done magic at a situation where there's a husband. Well, here's how he did it, and his wife goes, slaps him, goes, I don't want to hear it. I want to experience the sense of wonder. So this stays here. So as you practice this, and I would say I'm getting better at it over time. I would say probably 80% of the time I nail it.
And then when you don't.
And when you nail, and it's even better. Believe it or not, sometimes I cringe when I get it right because I'd rather get it wrong, because then if I get it wrong, and there's a joke, and I'll say, oh, I can see that you're not particularly good at visualizing. And then I did the card trick version, and then when I get that one, for some reason, missing it first shows that it wasn't a trick, that I could fail at it, and then when I get it the second time, it elevates it somehow. And I've done this over and over and over again, and when I miss it, I go, oh, thank God. And I don't want to miss it on purpose to help me build that skill, but because the second time it's just so much more effective when you actually get it right. So how did I get it right with the cards? And this is where a lot of the practice. So if you have a deck of cards, this would be a good time to get them out.
If anybody needs a deck of cards, I've got more.
Yeah,
Does it matter what kind of deck you have?
We should start our own casino.
Do you want one, Rebecca?
I'll go get.
Oh, that's okay. Here.
No, thank you.
Those are not.
Spirit drink, man.
I've got 5.
Thank you. Look at the Americans.
Yeah.
So this is one of the most marvelous things that you will learn in your life.
Okay.
This is something that, once you know this, you can walk into any place. So my mother's been passed away for some years, but before she passed away, I went back to visit her in Indiana. And we're driving through, I don't know where, somewhere in northwest or north of Indianapolis. I don't know. And she goes, I want an ice cream. Okay. Just right there, stop there, I want you to stop there. So I walked in there and there was a bag of ice. Beans. I said, Mom, I said, I've never been in this place before, have you? No. I said, I'd like for you to shuffle the cards. She taught me how to shuffle cards. And I said, so the cards are shuffled. I said, I'm gonna run down my thumb, and I say stop, she says stop. So pick the card out. I said, it's the King of Clubs. How do you do that? I said, no, you're gonna tell me? Your mom, no, I never told her how I did that. So you guys are getting special information I wouldn't even tell my own mother. All right, so you have the other person shuffle the cards. And you compliment them. I don't care how, if they drop the card, no matter what they do, good job. If they drop them on the floor, you know, like this, here's a tip on, so if you drop cards on the floor, rather than go rub them across the floor and you pull them up, you'll put tiny scratches on the card. So the way to pick them up is to take another card and scoop it like this. This carpet's easy because it's got some, like a cardboard or tile, some Berber. Yeah, so you just step it, just keep them out like that. So if you're nervous and you drop the cards, cool, because that means you're not an expert. If you're an expert, you do like slippy things, you go, well, sure, you can do that because look how you handle the cards. So you really have to handle the cards as little as possible. Now, if you're at home and you're trying to get your flexibility in your hands, yes, then practice. But when you're out there, if you keep, handle the cards as little as possible. So what you do is when you say, are the cards shuffled right? I'm peeking at the top card. You just take your finger and you push it up a little bit. You say, okay, and this, you don't want to go, okay, the cards are shuffled right? So you hold it up and you say, and you point as an indication. I don't want everyone to notice this, but you're looking too. You're looking past the card and you glance down. So I know that the 9 of spades is on the top. Okay, now this is where we have variations that you can, and you can choose which one you like, and you can ignore, or if you come up with your own one, that doesn't make a difference. So when I run my thumb down the side and I say stop, I do something called a swing cut. The swing cut is I take the top part and I lift it up, and I move it into the fold of my other hand. So just practice that. Like this, hold it in your right hand from above, your thumb on the bottom, and your ring and middle finger holding it. You've got a break there. You lift up that top chunk into your hand like that. This one, okay, and then you take that, squeeze it with, pinch it with between your thumb and your the palm of your hand out like that. If it's confusing, this is the hardest part, so it's okay. And then you tap it like this. And then you push the top card up. With the left hand, and you set this on top. You set this on top. And that was the top, that was my top. So you're all looking puzzled, and that's good, because that's what you want. You want people looking puzzled. So here's the illusion. The illusion is you're doing this. But that's not what you're doing. That's what everybody thinks you're doing. Whenever you want to confuse somebody, you cross the center line of the body. So down like this, you take that top part up. Take this hand, catch it here. So the top part is now in your left hand. It is confusing if, sometimes I need to do this side by side.
Yeah.
How about you two guys stand up, on either side of me?
Casey?
No, side by side. Just to the side, right? Yeah, like this, that's good. So you go down like this. So you hold it from above. Okay, and you run your thumb down like this. And then you take your finger, your pointing finger, index finger, and you lift that up. And then you take that with this hand. Okay. So you just pinch
There you go.
like this, and then you tap it. If you do it 5 times, that's too much. 1, 2 is good. And then you take your finger and push that top one forward and set this on top. And they think that you pull the card out of the center, but you did off the top. Make sense?
And move down the line.
Okay.
Yes, I get what you're saying, because what I picked was in the center. When I said stop, it was in the
You
middle.
have center, but that doesn't mean that's not the top.
Right.
So what,
you made it.
here's a good thing. So I'm gonna turn this card face up.
Yeah.
So you can see what's going on.
And that's the one that the person picked.
No, that's, yeah. Well, so you shuffled the card and I peeked it and I see the 5 of diamonds.
Yeah.
So I know it's the 5 of diamonds.
Okay.
And they said stop. And it's still, the top is, yeah, so it's still the 5 of diamonds. I just switched the top and bottom.
Right.
You have time. We have all day. Okay, so stand up on the other side. Can I have one of your cards? Okay, so this way you can see that this is a different card, right? Any number of people can stand up if you want to stand around. So the top card is obviously not my card. So I go like this, I thumb down like this, I stop. And I take my finger and I lift this part of the deck up. And I catch it here like that.
This here.
And then I tap it. And then I push that forward. And so the card that was on the top is now appears to be from the middle.
Okay,
And if this is way out here, we have other methods. This is the hardest one of the set,
This
right?
is the guy we're after.
Yeah.
It's the changing
And
from
then-
one hand to the other.
Yeah,
Yes.
grabbing the
Yeah.
top half.
Yeah.
You're switching. It's
Yeah.
the old switcheroo.
Right,
Yeah,
but
so-
it feels really awkward.
It is
Yes.
to start.
But when you do it 50 times every day for the rest of your life, it feels natural. And this is a swing cut.
So this is the guy we're after. Where is he going? On top of the here?
So go, first of all, go back to here
Okay,
and from above.
okay. And from above.
Yeah. And let's do this. Let's turn this card face up so you can track it, so you know where it is. So like that, hold it from above.
Okay.
Thumb goes like this. Lift up with your finger. Index finger. And this is a little awkward. Your hands will, and then
Okay.
you take it here like this.
This,
The top.
Your left
Yeah.
hand comes over,
Yes.
pinches
Okay.
this and pulls it over. But
yes.
don't switch your hand. I mean, just keep it like this. It's, if you don't get it, it's okay because we have other choices. I just
Okay,
want
so,
to do the hard one first.
okay,
So you're like this.
there, okay.
Do you have a space between? Okay.
Yeah.
And then just pinch, pull it off. But pinch here.
Like that,
Okay, and then tap it.
okay.
And then set this on top. here. Push it forward first.
Okay, because,
And see how,
It is,
let's see what
okay.
was on top is now in the middle.
but you know what it is. How did you peek? Because it's not faced up this way.
Well, because when you said, are these cards peaked, are these cards mixed? See what I did? And I pointed here, that you can't
So
see.
it's this way, and you see that it's,
Well, this is before, at the very beginning, when someone else shuffles the card, you say, now the cards are shuffled right. And you want them to confirm that, because then they can't say, oh, well, you cheated because you shuffled the cards. Are the cards, and so when I'm doing that, I'm also picking. Sneaky? All right, okay, we'll break into groups and work on this a little bit later. And I'm sure you can. Okay.
You're turning us all into con men.
Then we'll see the people now. Okay, so another way to do this, and this one feels a little more awkward to me, but it's the same thing, you take a peek at the top card. In this case, I know it's kind of.
so you're taking a peek because you have it how in your hand?
So I have it, so someone shuffled, and this is kind of like an awkward, but I'm showing you the back of the cards, saying these are shuffled, right? Right.
It's a shuffle, right?
You want
Distraction.
get that.
No, because I think that.
And you're
you give it
taking
back to you?
this.
Is that how you
Yeah.
do it?
And you're,
Yeah, so I
bring
handed
this
you,
one
you
up.
shuffled.
So
Right.
now these are right.
Uh-huh.
These are all shuffled, right?
I showed it to
And so you're
everybody, then I
looking
had
and
to
you're
get
seeing
back
that
to
that's
you.
the sense.
No, not yet. First of all, you just shuffled. the
Yeah,
cards.
you're doing it.
Earlier than that.
Yeah.
And then you do whatever it is you're gonna do with them.
Yeah.
Whatever he's gonna show
And
us
you
next
say-
is supposed to be easier.
Oh, yeah. I still, the other thing, yeah. Which hand?
Yeah.
And shuffle.
Oh, this is-
Push that forward. So put what was on the bottom now on the top. That's how I know what it is. The easier way. This is probably. There's quite a few that are easy. So you do it a little differently. You say, just touch a card. Just touch. This one. So you never let someone pull the card out of the deck. And the reason why is because the whole card's gonna fall on the floor.
Okay.
Right, so you say, this is the card you want? Because if she doesn't remember it, I need for you, the rest of you guys to remember what it is. Okay, that was the 4 diamonds. How did I know that? I peeked. So what I did was, I said, you see the card, right? And I switched hands. I want everyone to remember that because she won't remember it. So now the bottom is on, top is on the bottom. And then I put the cards like that here on top. And I shuffled the cards. And somebody might be watching me saying, oh, he did something sneaky. But when I shuffle the cards, watch when I shuffle the cards. The bottom of the card doesn't move.
Ah.
And then I turn the cards over, square them up because they're messy. And I shuffle them one more time. And I really do shuffle it. And I know what the card is. That should be easy to do, right? So try it with each other.
Yeah, right.
So you do see, so the sequence is, they touch a card, and then you hold up like this, and say, you see that card, I want you to remember it. It's shifting of the hands, and then you put this, the one that they picked is on the bottom. And then, this is my mother taught me this, that's how, my mother taught me to shuffle and keep the card on the bottom of the deck. She taught me to do this. And I think my grandfather was a card shark. Because he would always play with cards, and everybody, his name was Irving. Irving, you always cheat. I don't know what you're doing. You're cheating. He always won. He would just smile. But so you use your fingers, you hold that in place, and you pull the ones out of the middle and you put them on top. Keep the bottom where it is. And then you turn the cards over to square them up, like I have it, and then you take a peek at the card. Then you shuffle it one more time. And then you bury it. Okay? Work together. It's the pattern, the sense of relaxation is important. Here, if you have any other exercise, first exercise to do in reality is learn how to shuffle cards and talk at the same time.
Mhm.
Because
Well, let's
you're
just
having to do
try to
this.
shuffle first.
So if I'm doing a magic trick, where's your attention gonna be? Where my eyes are. But if I'm talking like this, you're not gonna pay that much, you're gonna look where I'm looking. Right, if I'm, and that's how magicians are constantly, people say, magicians misdirect will, they direct attention.
Mhm.
They will show you where they want you to look by looking there themselves. So practice that.
Glenn, have you seen those videos, Apollo? I think his name is
Yeah.
Apollo. And he goes in and he directs all their attention.
Yeah,
You know,
he
you
is.
look over here and he's taking stuff out of here.
He's a stage pocket.
Yeah.
You'll be standing there watching him, then you realize, well, you can't have a blue shirt on before, now it's red.
Uh-huh.
And I heard a story where he went to Spain, to the bullfights where all the pickpockets are, and he left his wallet out, or, you know, you can see it, and he watched them pick his pocket, and he learned from them.
Oh,
Yeah, he did not-
clever.
there's nothing anymore. Just curious, and they have hooks that reach into bags, and their teams that work together. So, yeah, he is, from him, I learned the secret of how to direct attention with your hands. If your hands are moving straight, no one's gonna pay that attention. When they start doing curves, the eye picks up the movement that's curved. There's more. So go ahead, do work with each other. I mean, literally, just say, touch a card, do this, you know, make sure you go through it, because if you don't practice it, you won't remember. Part of the muscle memory.
Yeah, so-
Okay. And feel free to stand up if you like.
Okay, Joy and Jean, I think it's time for you guys to practice with your own cards. You're muted.
Oh, and Larry was with us, but then now he's gone.
Yeah, he wasn't able to hear very well, so he left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, by the way, great job, Joni, on the camera work.
Oh, good. I'm glad that worked.
Like, really, you're doing great.
Thanks.
And they say, touch a card, and then say, is this the card you want? And you say, you want this one, you want that one.
Now, do you want to practice, or do you want me to go around and keep recording what Glenn is doing? Because he's helping people over there.
And then you show them the other
Oh.
side. Yeah. You show them.
I'm fine either way. You can go, since you're doing the recording, you can wander around and watch people if you want. Is that okay, Joy?
I want you to really hard about this.
Okay.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, so you both feel like you've got it, and
And then you say this on top.
Tish is
I got some of it. And I'll look it up.
okay.
I'm never gonna be Glenn.
Yeah, I
So get a good one.
realize I need to learn how to shuffle differently.
Pick a card, Joy. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
So does that mean this one right here?
Um,
I mean this one. I'm trying to use my fingers. That one is. Are you talking that one right there?
That'll work, yes.
Okay. So this one. So now if I lift it. Oh, okay. So all right. You see that one?
No, it's too low.
Oh, it's too low.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So where do you want me to put this? Back where it was?
Just put it in another spot.
Another spot. Okay. Oh, sorry. So putting it right there. Okay. So now I'm going to pretend. So we're going to shuffle, but I'm going to do it differently. So the way he was shuffling. Now, mind you, I put it in the center, right? I didn't do a good job, but I can tell you right now. I already know what it is,
Cool.
because you know what I did when I held it up to show you. I looked and I saw in my thing that it said the Jack of Clubs.
card.
Yeah, but that's the queen of diamonds.
I know, but I'd have to go through. I'm not saying where it was, but I'm saying I know what the card is.
So you were
If I say now tap, if I say now like tap, think of the color of the card, and then I could go black. And then I could go, it's a club. And then I could have you tap and go, oh, it's bigger than 5. It's bigger than 5. Now think of the number really hard, and then say, well, it's bigger than 8. And then I'm like, let's see, it's lower than a king, and I could do it and make this big production. But anyway.
Yeah, you could get me so confused I'd forget what I even saw. Oh, I froze.
Oh, you know what I was thinking of? We're making noise. The recording may not get it.
Okay.
Might have us on top. Maybe we should be quiet. So I'm going to go get this.
Everybody else here is working together.
I'm saying on the recording.
Everybody here is working together. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's okay.
All right. So you want to do enjoy?
Well, I don't know how. Sure. Okay. So, well, let me just show you what I can practice. He did this with his thumb, and he put this over in his hand.
Okay. So shuffle, 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 and then you go. All right. So they're really well shuffled, right? Yes. Okay. And then, okay. And then I take it like this. Like this. Oh yeah, tap tap. Yeah.
Okay, what card do I have?
And then just that. Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna need to show it to me so I can see it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Right? Shuffle, shuffle. And now they're all shuffled, right? Okay. Oh, but how do you know?
Okay, so was it this card?
So you know.
Yes.
You choose. Well, I just figured you chose your own. So when did that part come in? When in the beginning.
Well, there was some cheating going on, but it worked out.
Because we practiced this part a whole bunch, but I don't remember. Yeah. When you look.
Yes.
This part.
I can't see it very well.
Okay, ladies. So
All I can tell is that it's red.
Oh. These are Ericksonian hypnosis cards.
Oh, cool. What did they do? Have some clue on them?
So
oh, that's right. So he had her shuffle. Oh, these cards are terrible. These have been used. Okay. Shuffle, shuffle. There we are. Yeah, they're shuffled. Okay, now we're done shuffling it. And then, oh, tell me when to stop. That was it. Tell me when to stop. Which card do you want to do? Okay. So that's your card. Okay. And then put it on back. No, that's it. Okay. So there. So this is yours. Okay. And then divided that. Yeah. You put that one in the hand, and then this one you put on. Oh, so we're not shuffling there. Okay. So this is okay. So you've got this one. All right. And flip it in the other hand, and then you got Oh, yeah, so maybe this is where we do it. Yeah. And then you just slide it up. And then say, yeah, but it seems like there was something. I feel like I'm missing something, yes. And I really don't like that. Oh, here, I like this one better. That's a good card.
Okay. Show it to you.
There's another way.
Oh, you can't have. Is this the same? Yeah, I was just unclear where he was looking at card. Yeah. I got all that part. Yeah. Which when do you choose? Fun. Oh, they think you pulled it out of the center. Oh, for goodness sakes, I really dislike this. Really dislike it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say to you, pick a picture, right? Just point to a card. This one right here. Okay. So, all right. Yeah. Okay, so this is your card. Okay. And I just put right here on top. And that's where I like that. And slide it up. It just seems like you could, it just seems like you could, okay. Let's go see. I think Scott maybe knows it.
Right, you're getting ready to sell. And you're holding the
Figure out. I have no idea. I'm not there yet.
So
It's what about and like it has every person top and bottom. It has a number on this side.
Yeah.
I used to get to know maybe on this side.
My wife always tells me this.
We aren't using it.
Okay, so where do you yes,
Okay, there's a. So you say
His
that.
husband died, he had, before he died, 10 years prior, he had developed.
Well, yeah, they are shuffling. You shuffle them, it's terrible. You always gotta say that's terrible.
It's Medicare, Medicaid, okay, that said, okay, the payments, and said they are gonna take it.
So then I say, okay.
They'll do that after the death.
And then wait till
I
I
am
am.
SSBI, he was on SSBI. Yeah.
So they
Split
can.
it.
I hope so. I mean, it's no.
This used to be on the bottom, this used to be on the top.
So
So it's
I'm running, I'm just waiting for him to clear.
So with SSDI. Because it's what
No, what's that? Here's what they think.
Now.
Here's what they think would happen. They think this happens.
SSDI.
You know, this little amount of.
You get so much money, whatever, it's based on that formula.
You search the top.
Yeah.
No.
They don't. Yeah.
But there is another way around.
This is what happens for me. I have some program called the actual.
That's the program.
They have a program where they work for 9 months.
Yeah.
And then not. Then what happens is after like resets, and we go on for another 9
Okay,
months.
so the second one is.
No, they won't.
Usually do it.
You let me
No, what
know.
they'll do is, at this point, what happens is, they work at, and they're making more than 1,200 a month.
It goes down.
Yeah, it's just like 1,200. And so if I make more than 1,200, then they look at
And then they make.
they can, or they may not have social security, or both. And what I'm trying to do is get off of social security. I'll still keep Medicare. Because my age says that. Yeah. Yeah, the reason why is because you have to go through a process that takes 7 years
And you
to be able to kick you off. By the time they kick you off, yeah.
So
That's
also,
right.
I don't know what you do.
That's like this.
Anything, any income at the earlier we spend that makes it so you can work. Dump that from that 12,000 to 1,200. And that's
Yes. Yes, what I'm doing is, right now, on call caregiving, it's okay, we do that before. I want to. I'm getting my business started. And I'm working
This is all about.
So that's not there.
So, attention please. This is, so there are different kinds of magic. Stage magic, and there's table magic, there's close-up magic, there's,
And all of it.
different kinds of magic, and this is a sub-genre of magic called mentalism. Mentalism is about reading minds and making predictions. It's the same. It's just how they frame it up. So I'm going to show you another one. Another method.
When can you mention the definition?
Mentalism is a style, a subgenre of magic. Now, if there were mentalists here, they would argue with me all day about it. So I'm not working with it. It's basically that they use the same kinds of techniques that we usually use, but they use it to pretend that they can read minds. And there are ways that you pretty close read someone's mind, like when we did the, I told her she picked the 8 of clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't write anything down, she didn't pick a card. And so that's pretty close, you know, pretty close to the real thing. And there's something called multiple meetings where I could have you guys, I could leave the room, I have practice already, I'm not gonna do it. I have something like pick a card and have someone sit on the card, and I can walk through the room and I can find, so the person has to be my guide. And I can find any object.
You're hired.
So, I used, there's a, I don't know if it's still there or not, there used to be a hat store in Portland called the Gluring Place. And, that's where that was my place. Every magician has a place where they have to be. And they work on stuff and if they mess up, it's not that big of a deal. That's my place to be bad, although I was pretty good at that once I know myself. As the first place I publicly hypnotized somebody knowingly to do it. The guy lifted his arm and he's laughing like crazy. His brother and so I'd say, here's a card, I don't care, and I left the store, I said, hide it under any of the hats in the store. I don't like put it in a cover, right? It's someplace where they would do it, and I would find it every time. People would absolutely freak out. It's fun. Preston, if you've heard of Preston, he would do that. He would take his paycheck, he would put it under somebody's seat, and he says, if I can't find it, then I will donate this to a charity. Very few times did you ever have to donate. And sometimes it's so easy that you have to make it seem harder than what it is. Okay, so these are called forcing a card. A magician, you take a card that a magician wants you to take. So you learn two ways to do that. Here's another way, which is in some ways even simpler. So you have to do something called the Hindu shuffle. You have to start by holding the cards like this. Right hand, face down, and you're just, I would say, your thumb and your ring and middle finger are holding the cards like this. And then with your left hand, you reach underneath, and you pull off a few cards from the top and let them drop into your left hand. And you can tap it this way.
Just grab it here.
Like this.
Yeah,
And some people, like if you're from India, this is how you shuffle. In fact, one time I was at a restaurant and there was an Indian server. And the Indians actually do it more like this somehow. I can't do it. I don't know how she teach me how to do that. But anyway, so you go like this, you drop some. Like this, you drop some. You're doing it, which is fine. It's a cycle. No, that's fine. That's just a variation, which I can't do. So you're more advanced. This is easy. If that's how you wanted to do it like that, and you get works like this. You do it where you're talking, chewing around. So you have someone shuffle the cards. Like this, and you're going to say stop. Stop. Six of clubs. How did I know that? Because it's the bottom card.
You peeped.
Yeah, I peeked earlier. I turned over. So what you're doing is you're pulling cards off the top that have nothing to do with the bottom. Right? And then you go like this. And you slap it down. Get a sense that is from somewhere. So you can notice like in the head. So if someone shovels the card, this is a I always have it, just see, but they're repeating at the bottom card. There's this here. And say stop, and you always turn your head. Right? That solves the trick. Okay. I'm not picking out. Practice that.
You know, Glenn, it's a lot easier to just be honest. This is a lot of work.
Yeah. And you know, it kind of builds your so there's a magician, I think it's David Copperfield, who has a program that he takes into retirement homes to teach people, all over people, which I'm not a member of, how to do magic, and it improves the neural pathways in their brain and in their hands. It gets their hands going, and they have to think of categories and stuff.
for that, and they're like, no, I want that.
Yeah, there's always, there's ways, and you always want to give somebody a choice. Put the cards down. So let's say,
Someone wants this card.
okay, so let me hold the cards. So let's do it to me. So you just you can do it, you can go back. Well, there are ways to do it that are more technical. So I'll show this to you, but I don't expect anybody to do this. Right? So you said this is your trick, right? This is the card you want, you just slap on the top. And then so I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do some cuts. And the card's back on the bottom. So how did I do that?
Yeah.
So let me show you, this is not part of the curriculum.
Yeah, I can see how that would work.
So you stop and then so let's say it's the 7 of cards, I'll leave that face up, and you drop it like this. So, and you put a bookmark in, which is your pinky.
Just gotta get real good
Yes.
cards.
And then if you have a table, which makes it even easier, you have a table.
Just
you
push it
go.
out to the pinky.
Everyone come around here and see this? This is cheating. I want you guys to take this to your poker games. In fact, people, I have this thing where I pass 13 cards and I identify all 13 cards, which is mathematically impossible to do, but I do. And people say, I want to take you to play poker. I said, you know what? No one will play poker with me. Number one, I don't know how to play poker, and no one's ever offered to teach me. So I've got this is called a break. Your little pinky's in here, like a little bookmark. And so I go, take off a little chunk from the top, I take the next chunk off, and then I do that swing cut again. It's back on the top. There's so many ways to cheat, guys. Don't play for money. And I don't have a deck that's. You should practice with all kinds of cards, and then when I say all kinds of cards, I mean all kinds of conditions, cards that are worn. Like when I did that trip with my mother, there was like ice cream all over the cards and stuff, and they were really nasty, really gritty. And I just did what I did, swing cut. Then I was on the coast. And I was at a restaurant, and there was another deck of cards, and the waitress came up. I said, "Before you take my, I want to show you something first." I did that. She goes, "Oh my God!" And my wife, she says, "Oh, ignore him. He does that all the time." Okay, so here are cards that are in what we call new deck order. Okay, so it goes ace, king, and then it switches to hearts, and then when it hits there, it goes king to king. And then it goes, and this, if you get a new deck of cards, I think this is the order. It might have some of those flipped around, but it's basically, this is how it goes: black, red, and it goes ace to king, and then when it gets to this side, it's king to ace. So I'm going to mix these cards up. This will be part of it. You'll be all doing this by the end.
Yeah, sure. I'll be ready for poker night.
Yeah. And so this is for people who have a hard time shuffling cards. They can shuffle them this way. All right. So the cards should be pretty thoroughly mixed by now, right? Let's see how well of a job I did.
What'd you do? I can't see.
They're all the same.
The cards are.
They haven't mixed.
Any of them.
They didn't change.
So this is advanced, but just because somebody mixes the card doesn't mean they've changed the order. Hey, that's okay. This is what I want. When she goes,
Yeah.
so there are two things, two statements that magicians have to deal with. One was, I know how you did that, right? And they don't, or if they do, no one wants to hear it. And I've had people, a woman was standing here one time, I was doing the card thing. And she goes, I know how you did that. And everyone was like, they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to ruin the magic.
Yeah.
And then there are people who say, awesome. And then, it just feels so good. And that's why magicians do magic. They just love to hear that. How's that even possible? It just sends shivers up and down their spine. It's the most wonderful thing. Yes.
I had a gentleman who did a card trick where it was deck cards, and he told a story about the 4 robbers that came in and took the money out of the king's closet, so to speak, and then he identified that there was 4 jacks, and that the really bad guy was, the head guy was the spade of jacks, and then as he's doing that, he's pulling out, but without looking at the cards, all the jacks as they come up the top of the deck.
See, and that's the genre of storytelling, which is an excellent kind of magic and very entertaining, but not part of, I wouldn't call it, no, I wouldn't call it powers of the mind. So that's why I didn't, and I know, I mean, there are tons and tons of tricks like that. And I didn't want to include that because I want to do like, it's a power of the mind kind of thing. So, but if you like telling stories, by all means, right, do that, because those are good tricks. Okay, I'm going to show you one more amazingly simple trick. Everyone can do this, no problems whatsoever. You can circle around, everybody circle around, make a big circle. But just don't get behind me. I mean, you just won't be able to see. Circle up if you can. Don't be shy, only bite a little bit from the pulse. Try to break this. Okay, so I'm just going to say, just touch a card. Just touch a card. You take it. Okay, don't tell me what it is. Sure, you want to take that. The King of Spades. Okay. How did I do that? They're all King of Spades. Now, the bottom ones aren't. A couple of the bottom, because in case someone sees when you go like this, right? You want, but they're all kings. Like, but wait a minute.
I can't see. Oh, sit down.
They're all the King of Spades. And this is called a one-way deck. And you can buy these. And they won't all be King of Spades, maybe whatever they have in stock, right? So that's not the cards I had before. I did a deck switch. You guys didn't see it.
Oh, do it again.
Now, what if they took it from the bottom and you didn't get one?
Well, as I said, but you can, so when you go to somebody.
You hand it to
You
them.
hand it to them. That's called part of the forces. You give them at least a general area where you want to.
Got it. And
There's
you already
only-
know that the other ones.
There's only a couple in the bottom that are, and the ones on the top are
You
fine.
kind of could even keep your thumb on those.
Yeah, exactly. This is not part of the curriculum either. But so how do I switch decks? So
We can get base and cards.
That's right.
I think you were going to sell us 2 decks.
yeah, I should have done. So these are the cards I had been using. And I had them out here and I had these in my. So at one point, and I had this box in my left pocket. Okay. And as I was coming here and I was talking, I went tap, tap, like I'm looking for the box. Tap, tap, switch sides, pay attention, reached in for both of my hands, dropped the cards in my left hand, picked up the cards in my right hand, and I pulled the box out. I didn't do that. Which even if I had it, would have been okay. And then I put these cards in the box. Put them in. And if I had been, no one would have, and I was talking and you guys weren't paying attention. And that's called a deck switch. Now, you won't have that available if you're doing this spontaneously too. So shall we take a break? And come back and we'll break into little groups and I'll have you, now these are pieces. This is like a module. And you can take this apart, you can put it together in different ways. But I would like to see your presentation. How would you, someone comes up, comes to you and says, I don't know, do we want to just like split it in half and then have, let's just do it all together. I think we have enough time, I think, for everybody to try to be that. And you can do the bridge version of this. I'd like for you to see how do you handle that? How do you handle when somebody says, oh, you're a hypnotist, hypnotize me. So what's the first thing that goes in mind? Like, is this a challenge? So you need to, the first step is reframe it to a demonstration of the power of the mind. And then you can take it from there.
You could ask them what it is that they're interested in doing with hypnosis, establish whether they're serious or trying to.
Yeah, but then you're focusing on one person, whereas you want to do the presentation. You really are using this as a wedge to open up the group. Yeah. And that would be something to do later, because after you're done, people will come up to you. I've never done anything like this where I didn't have a line of people after I was done. And just pass out the business cards.
So you're using the cards as an open door when I ask you hypnotize me, and you go into that and you get the correct card, and they're totally have surrendered to compliance and everything.
And they believe.
Yeah.
They think, wow. I can see the look on her face, like, right? Like, how did you do that, right? And so so they're, what do they call it, the rapport. There's a magician's rapport, there's a hypnotist rapport, and there's a mentalist rapport. When I did that with the hats, with the head card, and I did this there was a very attractive young woman, and she was like, oh, wow. And she just walked right into my space. And this was like a non-sexual, and I'm not reading women's minds, but they like it when someone kind of knows them in a non-aggressive, non-sexual way. They enjoy that. And she just started opening up to me, started telling me all these things like, okay. Right. But it's okay. It's okay, right? And so the thing that you have to learn, I did not know at the time, is you have to completely open up to that. And you have to give them, so there's a book I read about charisma, and this is a photographer, and his assignment was to take pictures of Marilyn Monroe. So they were going to go to some location, they had to get on a bus to get there. And no one was paying any attention. I kind of looked at her like, okay. And she said something like, well, no one's paying attention. She says, oh, that's because I'm not Marilyn right at the moment. And she says, do you want to see? And she turned like this, and everybody started paying attention to her. How did you do that? And there's something called an eyebrow flash. Anybody know what the eyebrow flash is? So this is across all apes and monkeys and rhesus monkeys and all the other things that not quite so monkey are. And all the way through humans. The only group that does not do this are the Japanese, and they don't do it because it's too forward, too break some banners and stuff, but it's this where your eyebrows go up. If you think about in your mind, close your eyes and think about what does Marilyn Monroe look like? Eyebrows are always, almost 95% of the time you see her eyebrows up. And she's showing interest. Now, you don't have to keep your eyebrows up because you walk around with this one. You look like Marilyn Monroe, right? Yeah. Well, it's called the eyebrow flash. And you can look at this on, there's actually an article on the eyebrow flash. Where your eyebrow, you quickly go like this. You ever been like walking to, you're going to buy a car or something big, and then someone comes over and, man, this guy, I feel like I know him. Because he did the eyebrow flash to you. And it's very, very fast. And if you think about it, you kind of mess up. But if it stays too long, it's okay. Just don't. Become a little too aggressive, right? But I used to hang out with, and I still don't hang around with magicians like I used to, but I would go to a restaurant. We'd go into a restaurant. We'd have conventions and go teach it. And they're all about doing this. They're worried about the effect, and I'm worried about the people. No one cares about the trick. They care about it. when you feel like that. That's what you want. They will remember you. When you're looking for clients, they'll remember that feeling that you just gave them. That magicians call it the sense of wonder, but I think it's like, and it elevates you, elevates you. I'm wandering all over my path here. Where was I going with this? Yeah, the eyebrow flash. Should we go into a restaurant? Thank you. And they would order something from like, they have these conventions of like truck stops, right? They're like, okay, what do you guys want? And then I would get the waitress of eyebrow flash and she'd, oh, and you do, how come she's treating you different than us? So it's that little, just try it. You'll get better service, you know, unless
I
they're
do
just.
that all the time walking down the street.
Yeah.
Like in this store.
Yeah.
With somebody giving,
Yeah.
and a nod, there's always the slight nod.
Yeah. And some
cultures really like.
And some people are, they're just so caught up in their own world, they don't notice. But if you can get them to notice it, it makes a difference. So that's a universal sign we belong to the same group. Apes do it, like I said, monkeys do it. And if you watch, I watched when Biden was running, I think it was Biden, it was very Harris. There was a video on, they went into a restaurant or some kind of place, store where they buy food. All these people are crowded around because they want to talk to Harris. And I want, like, I'm afraid by frame, and they all went, we belong to you. We belong to this group of eyebrows. So it works. Yeah. So take a break, and when we come back, we'll have you maybe abbreviate it. I'd like to see you all try the mind reading, the one without the cards. Because when you nail that, how did you do that? Yeah, take a break. You need to get them around.
So we're gonna practice the mind readings.
We're gonna put the whole thing together. And then at the end, if we want to isolate different parts of it, I'm always here to. Yes.
A lot of her photos.
Exactly. Yeah, that was such a good dreaming book.
What if your eyebrows, you just normally paint them on and they're elevated?
Yeah. As I get older, my eyebrows get whiter and whiter, and you don't know. I've noticed since Botox, I don't want to.
This is so much fun.
Oh, good. That's awesome. It's, yeah, we're happy.
Just remember, what you learn in this room stays in this room.
Yeah. Then also, just take a minute and talk about
Hey,
your astronomy.
can you stop the recording?
Talk about your astronomy,
Are you watching?
telescope.
Are you watching the
pictures.
recording?
Oh, do I want to talk about it?
Just
Okay.
give them a minute and
Yeah,
tell them
just
what to do,
Stargaze.
the Stargaze.
Oh.
Yeah, stop
Well,
it and then we'll start again after the break.